Okay, so first things first, do not comment till you finish watching this video. Second of all, if you got a problem or you get offended by the words that come out of my mouth, you can dislike the video or unsubscribe. Lastly, shut the hell up. A sport, a physical activity or game that often competitive and organized that maintains or improves physical ability and skills. Some sport may provide enjoyment or participants and entertainment to spectators. Motorsport are sporting events that competitions and relate activities that primarily involves the use of automobiles, motorcycles, motorboats, and power aircrafts. For each of these vehicle types, these more specific terms: automobile sport, motorsport, motorcycle sport, power boat racing, power boating, and air sports are usually called officially by organizers and governing bodies. Yep. If you cannot tell the video, if you cannot tell the title of this video or the terms I just read, is racing considered a sport? Yes, I know, the same old tired question. Oh, is racing really a sport? Oh, blah, 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 blah. First of all, you know my answer is yes. You already know my answer. Yes, racing is considered a sport. And of course, you got the dumb idiots and the people are still questioning. Well, if racing considered a sport, or, and of course, you got those people who said, "Oh, anybody can do this. All you do is drive in circles, blah 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 blah." You know that stupid stereotype. Let me show you this real quick, okay? By the way, if you're wondering, yeah, Police Force or Motorsport Sport, you're gonna see. Let me pick a car. Yeah, I turned off the music. Obviously, copyright issues, blah blah blah. You guys know that already. Find me a car. Where a car at? You know what? I'm gonna pick one of these. You know what? I'm going back to Audi. Haha. They don't have the car I'm looking for, but I'm gonna show you off anyway. Yeah, I know it's an open cockpit car, and of course it's the iconic Audi R8. I think it's an Audi R8. Is this the Audi R8? Yes, it's an Audi R8. Yeah, just making sure. If you know anything, if you're American Le Mans fans from the 2000s, you know about this car, the Audi R8s. Yeah, I'll go ahead this on. Don't pick a track. Can't go there for obvious reasons. We'll go here. Circuit level south. Now, now you might be thinking, okay, how's racing as a sport? Easy. The physical demands, and of course the like you need not only the mental or demands, the physical and the preparation. So you can't just be out of shape. Yeah, that's the speaker, the PA announcer. Just to know that in the background. Okay, yeah. Like I said, the mental preparation, the physical preparation, and of course the physical preparation. Of course, I said that multiple. I think I said physical, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, you can't be out of shape just to be a race car driver. You have to be in physical top shape. Okay, I'll show you one. NASCAR drivers. NASCAR helmet blowers, often called helmet pumpers or forced air systems. They're essential to driver cooling and safety devices that pumps filtered air directly into the driver's helmet through a dedicated hose. Cockpit temperatures can exceed 330 Fahrenheit and 54 Celsius. Blowers can provide continuous airflow to lower the driver's core temperature and prevent heat exhaustion, meaning you will pass out. This air filter or helmet board prevent you from passing out. Anti-fogging. By circulating air across the visor, these systems prevent moisture buildup from the driver's breath, ensuring clear visibility throughout the race. Yeah, you have to be cool. This ain't no air conditioners in your car, and it's not really cool air, mind you. You get from the. All right. If you're a sports car racing fan, you know this. Cool suit. To stay cool during sports car racing, drivers use two main types of technology: breathable, breathable, high-performance suits and anti-liquid cooling systems, often known as cool suits. At the system use motorized pump to calculate chilled water through tubing flowing into the Pacific specialized base layer. Strategy, strategically, yeah, I know. Yeah, got a problem with me stuttering. Too bad. Deal with it. Yeah, place mesh panels on the hips, back, and underarms. Reduce suit weight, help low physical fatigue. Help lower physical fatigue. God damn. All right. No, I'm gonna show you. Of course, this car is not set up for this. We're gonna talk about this. I know you're just not. Okay, you're not just driving around circles. Of course, I'm driving on Le Mans. You guys know this track. And you see the cockpit. And of course, I screwed up the corner, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know. You see, I'm a bitch. I'm an ass. All right. Yeah, I know I'm screwing up, but that's not the video it's about, asshole. Yeah, I know I screwed up the breaking point in the apex, but you get what I'm saying. Don't care because who really cares? Now, as you can see, I got to over 200 miles per hour. I don't think nobody out of shape can say I can drop a 200. All you gotta do is hope. Yeah, that's all you can do. Until you got, yeah. If you think, oh, all you gotta do is do that, nope. You don't know nothing about oversteer and understeer. Car control. Yes, you have to control the car. The car's not gonna act normal all the time. You have to fight the control. You have to fight the car control. You know what I mean by this? What is understeer and oversteer? Well, understeer is front turns loose grip before the rear, causing the car to turn less than the driver intends, moving towards the outside of the corner. Correct? What causes it? Entering the corner too fast, acceleration while turning, or lifting off the accelerator too quickly, reduce front tire traction. Correction for understeer, gently reduce throttle, lift off, slightly reduce steering angle to regain front traction, or brake gently. Oversteer, this is the one that all you people say, oh, racing just a sport, all you do is turn around left and right, blah, blah, blah. Nope. You not meant oversteer. Oversteer. Rear tires lose grip before the front, causing the rear to slide out of the car to rotate more than intended. What caused oversteer? Taking the corner too fast, lifting off the throttle mid-corner, lift off oversteer, heavy braking in a turn, or excessive power in wheel drive cars. Correction, countersteer. Turn the front tires in the same direction and the rear is sliding. Steer smoothly and avoid hard braking. You have to actually use your skill. It takes skill to overcorrect the car for spinning out. I'm surprised. I thought racing in motorsport, I thought racing, you don't have, you all you do is drive left. You don't have to worry about the car's handling and performance. I know I'm being sarcastic. You could tell, right? Not to mention the downforce, the airflow, aerodynamics. The air can contain how fast the car handles and go fast. Almost. I didn't know that. No. You just all you do is use the brake and the accelerator. All you do is use the accelerator and the brake just to contain the cars how it's driving. No, the teams have to literally game plan how the car's going to behave on a Pacific Tile racetrack. So no, like downforce. I'm not gonna do dampers and suspension. Blah 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 blah. That's too long. High downforce, performance, excellent grip and stability in high speed technical corners, aerodynamics, larger front wings, and steep angles. The downside, however, higher drag reduce top speeds on tracks like Lassard, as you can see. So yeah, so twisty circuits like Monaco, Singapore. What's a good twisty track? Sonoma. What's another twisty track? Road America is. We'll get to that later. Here, I'll go to a track right now. Since we're talking about downforce. Who really cares? Because this is irrelevant. Because I'm racing by myself. Since we're talking about downforce, let me go to a track that you need that the team's gotta strategize. How much downforce do you want on here? Because I don't think Le Mans is a good track for that. This one, Road America. Should have done this one first, but whatever. All right, low downforce, high straight line speeds, and lower drag. Filters, shallow aerodynamics, flatter, shallower wings, minimize air restrictors. However, the downside of low downforce, poor cornering grip, requiring a V-shaped early braking and less precision driving. Yeah. So you can't just, so yeah, you have the teams, like the engineers, you have to figure out, hey, how do you make the car go fast and safe? Let's take a lap around Road America. Yeah, I screwed up on the turn 6, but you get my point. The downforce. So, depending on what track it is, you got to, A, do I want the lower downforce so I can get the straight line speed and compromise my braking, or do I want the high downforce? I'll sacrifice straight line speed, but I have better handling in the technical corners and the twisty sections. Now, of course, different courses for courses, cars from different cars, blah, 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 blah. But if you want to, so like Daytona, the infield, like the Rolex 24, if you want straight line speed, go low downforce package for tracks like Daytona. But if you want high downforce, like Laguna Seca or Sonoma, yeah, you want the high downforce because you won't be quick through you want to be quick through those technical corners. And it's not. And by the way, this really not really a straight line. It's really no straight line on tracks like Laguna Seca or Sonoma. Yes, there are straightaways, but not longer than like Road America, as you obviously saw, or on the start, obviously. But you get my point. But in case you don't believe me, saying like, oh, it's still not enough to say, oh, racing is not a sport. Well, I'm gonna show you footage from an old race from 2008 to show you, oh, racing is not a sport. You don't need to be in shape to do this. Watch.
That's huge, Dorsey, and you have to really be in great shape. You have to stay hydrated. You have to prepare coming into these hot weekends. And I know most of the guys now in the field are very familiar with these conditions and know they have to be ready to go. Here we're looking at some of feeling the heat, Dorsey, and we're looking at pedal temperature, firewall, and the seats. And the one at the top is the one that stands out. That is the 01 machine. Look at it. It's a lot cooler. So the Ganassi boys think of everything. Look how the firewall temperature compares, for example, between it and the Ford Dallara, way down at 172.
And we were talking about that last night, about the insulation. Here's the GT cars, as you see how hot they are inside. The more insulation you build into the car, the cooler the car is, but the more insulation you build in the car, the heavier the car is, and that weight is up high. So it increases the center of gravity to a higher point. Not a good thing.
To the brewer in that last commercial break. And this is Kelly Collins. Now, this guy is a fitness guru. He is incredibly fit. And that just shows you the torture that these drivers are being put through here today in Alabama. He did the first 53, 54 laps of this race.
And Calvin, that's why I say when people ask, do you miss driving? No, I don't miss that at all.
It is so tough with those front engine cars. I mean, it is brutal. The heat soak that you get through that firewall, up through the pedals. We saw those stats earlier. Just tremendous, like 115, 130 degrees on the pedals. The firewall is literally on fire.
And you've done it.
Really tough conditions.
It melts your shoes. Your shoe soles melt to the pedals. They're so hot.
You go to the brake pedal and you just want to get off it because it's like putting your foot in a fire. I mean, it's unbelievable the conditions that these drivers are having to go through here today at Barber. And coming here in July, you're going to expect it. This is the season for the hot, sticky stuff.
All right, as you can see, by the way, shout out to Ginger Barrett Man 46 from the race. No, I believe the link for the full race in the description so you can see the race on your own time. As y'all can see by the video, Kerry Collins, who come out of the car that Calvin Fish and Dorsey Schrader was talking about, that former drivers, former road racing drivers, successful ones in their own respective careers. So this ain't nobody that, yeah. So let's be clear. As y'all can see by the video, for example, I show you Kerry Collins, that the drivers, that the commentators were talking about, one of the fittest drivers who work on his condition stuff. You can see in the heat in triple digits, you can tell, even with all the cool suits and all the air installation I just talked to you about, even he, one of the most fittest drivers, even he cannot overcome the heat. Even he was getting heat exhausted and tired. Like, oh my, I was like, God. Even so, yeah. So yeah, you gotta be in enough shape. Even then, you still can't afford to beat the heat. So yes, and I do want to be clear. I'm not coming on this video, making this video, calling people out, calling people idiots because because you don't even watch NASCAR. That's why you're saying no. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna, first of all, watch the sport. if you're gonna comment, if you're gonna criticize something or say, "Oh, these guys ain't athletes because they're not doing this and that," like, actually, respectfully, I can tell that you don't watch the sport. Because if you're making that ridiculous statement, let me ask you this: in a respectful way, if you think racing, if after I show, if you don't think racing is not a sport, respectfully, let me ask you this: why you're not doing it? If you think racing is easy, and anybody with all you do is turn left and that, why you're not doing it? Oh, wait, that's right, I forgot. Oh, well, I forgot to mention. Even when racing, even all the stuff I forgot to mention this. You still gotta maintain speed. So you can't just lollygag and be like 20 miles per hour. And I'm not talking about sports car racing, by the way. Let's go for any sports race. You can't be lollygagging and go, well, first and second are probably down. I'm not talking about the car being designed like sports car racing. No. I'm talking about in a spec series, you're like 5 seconds off the pace. Like, come on, they will pull you off the track. That if you don't maintain a minimal speed, because you're hazardous and danger not only for yourself and other people on the racetrack. So you can't just lollygagging. Oh, I know somebody's gonna probably, like I said before, I really don't care if anybody get offended by this video because A, I really don't care, but A, I'm not saying nothing that is out of line. I'm not offending nobody. If you are, like I said, dislike the video and unsubscribe. That's all you gotta do. I really don't care. And by the way, if you continue being immature, all I'm gonna do is move your comment. Yeah, your comment will end up being removed. So it doesn't really matter for me because it's a waste of your time for calling me out, calling me as an asshole and a bitch and calling me all that. So anyway, for all the people that do understand, you guys know this. I was not talking about you guys because you guys should know about racing, all the physical, mental, all the stuff you have to do, all that just to be successful, let alone being average. Anyway, this is not really a rant. This to show the proof that racing is a sport. Motorsport is a sport, just to be sure. Anyway, see you guys later.